Hey Terrarians, how's it going? My name is Pixelated Fireball, and welcome back to Mod of Redemption. So, I made a little bit of a whoopsie. And by a little bit of a whoopsie, I mean a gigantic, enormous, excruciatingly infuriating whoopsie. So basically what happened was, I don't know if it was the last Windows update or whatever, but I had about a 57-ish minute long video recording that was supposed to be this episode. What OBS decided to do was go, hey, you know what would be so funny? What would be just the best thing ever that we could possibly do to you right now, Pixelated Fireball? We're going to reset all of the settings for OBS back to default. So there you go. Basically, the moral of the story is that I have now an hour-long video clip that is entirely unusable, because for the duration of that video, there was no in-game sound or mic audio picked up at all whatsoever. So, being that I have the inability to go back in time, yet anyway, I think what I'm going to do is just give you a brief recap on what happened, the highlights, you might say, of that video clip, and then pick up from there. I'm starting to feel like Kingslayer III right now, you know, the endless, unceasing infuriation with technology. I think I understand why he hates robots so much, even though he is one. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna go do a quick recap of everything that was in that episode, leading from the dungeon, exploring through that, getting some new equipment and gear, up to the Golem, fighting him, and getting some new stuff from that, to right now. So, on with the recap. So, my adventure began with me thanking all of you for the channel finally hitting over 200 subscribers today. That is just awesome, and definitely 200 more than I thought I would have had when I began this whole YouTube adventure. I'm glad you're all enjoying the videos, and I hope to continue growing the channel with you in Terraria and beyond. So, with that said, the first order of business was to head off to the dungeon to farm some ectoplasm to get myself some new armor and items. As I was merrily gallivanting across the snowy plains atop my mighty unicorn, with a lovely crimson blood moon overhead, which I think was actually the first blood moon I actually got in this Let's Play in hard mode, I discovered some new enemies in the form of corrupted T-bots that hit very hard, and dropped some new items called corrupted starlight and Gyrus chips, or Gyrus chips. I'm not exactly 100% sure on how to pronounce that, but along with corrupted xenomite and a few other Vlitch items, they're used for making some new armor, tools, weapons, and boss summoning items for much later on down the road. So, the dungeon didn't yield anything new really, aside from the usual pain and suffering. However, I did get a decent amount of ectoplasm, which I used to craft a new spirit set called the Wisp set, which is just an absolutely adorable, amazing, wonderful set that I think looks fantastic. Especially the part where it has the giant, spooky, glowy ghost face. I think that's just fantastic. A critical part of any vanity set. If you're not going to use the actual set itself, definitely gotta have the giant ghost head. It allows me to have my slow fall back, and lights up my environment whenever I wear it. Because I guess in this logic that we're going to be using for this example here, wearing the skin of the ghosts that you've murdered allows you to light up your environment. So yeah, that's something that I can do now. Not gonna question it. But in addition to that, I got a new weapon called the Ancient Worshipper's Talisman that, when maxed out on spirit power, allows me to summon forth the Moon Lord's face to, I don't know, I guess, terrify enemies to death? I mean, it's understandable because, I mean, if I was out minding my business and Cthulhu's ghastly visage popped out of nowhere in front of me, and I'd probably explode from sheer terror as well. I think that's probably the only perfectly logical reaction, I'd say. Now, with the new weapons and armor, I decided to head off to the Jungle Temple to face off against the Golem, obliterating everything in my path with the mighty power of explosive ghostly dragon heads. The Golem was a pushover as usual, especially since his spawner decided to put itself in a very cramped space that allowed me to just hide behind walls and blow him up with the aforementioned ghostly dragon heads. And, you know, occasionally, the Moon Lord's face. After killing him about a dozen times, I finally got my hands on a pick saw, which I was told can break some of the more durable blocks in the abandoned lab, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have to go back there anytime soon, or if I even would need to, or perhaps it's related to Kingslayer III's quests. It looks like I'm not able to do any of those until I give him uranium, so we'll have to find that out for later, but either way, I'm sure you guys will let me know if I do have to go back there for any reason. And I also got a world stave that is a direct upgrade to the mechanized world stave, the Golem stave, I believe it's called, and a pile of solar tablet fragments and power cells which I can use for some pretty nice druid upgrades So everything was looking pretty good. I was beating up the Golem, farming some power cells, just minding my own business, when my adventure in the temple was abruptly cut short, because upon losing the buff I received from the friendly T-Bot's cloaker device, which said it would hide me from Gyrus Gyrus' sight, it said, "Thought you could hide from me," and a Gyrus hovercopter showed up and proceeded to wreck my face and send me limping home. Suppose I should have read into the flavor text, though I will say I definitely did not expect to be assaulted by an attack helicopter in the middle of the underground jungle temple, because it went very terribly. I had no way to defend myself, my staves were on cooldown, and everything was just going horribly. Did not end well, even though I thought that I might have had a chance. Ended very quickly. So that leaves us here. It's absolutely amazing how I have the magical ability to condense an hour's worth of played time into, like, what was that, about a 3-4 minute recap? But anyway, once again, I'm very, very sorry that the actual video itself didn't really work out very well. It's my own inability to pay attention, but now this time I am 100% certain that it is both recording and picking up game audio. I guess the entirety of the video didn't go to waste, because I used some of it for that, but here's where we are. PostGollum. We have a lot of events left to do. I didn't actually do the Pumpkin Moon or the Frost Moon, and now we have the Martian Madness available to us, so there's some events that still need to be done, though I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to need to do the Frost Moon or the Pumpkin Moon. I might check them out, but I generally avoid those because there's never really anything all that particularly interesting waiting for me in them. The only reason I did them in my Journey's End Let's Play was because I heard that there might be some new things involved with them, but this is still 1.3, so I think they're essentially useless right now at this point. So, before I run off and go and do anything else, and just sort of continue with the regularly scheduled programming, I want to talk about some of those new items that I had mentioned before, specifically the ones that were made from those power cells and solar tablet fragments that I had. So the first one is the upgrade to the Sacred Cross. It is a spiritual guide, which is made of a couple souls of light and night, 10 solar tablet fragments, a handful of any plant, the Sacred Cross, and a power cell wristband, which is very simply made out of 5 leather, which I can buy from... Where's he at? He's a little bit over this way. This guy, Zephos, and 3 lizard power cells and 30 of those souls of bloom from Terraria. You use that in combination with all these things to make the spiritual guide, which summons a spirit golem head that circles around you, shooting bolts at enemies. Next is Terraria's Will, which I have equipped right now because I thought it seemed pretty interesting. This is made out of the duality seed bags that I made in an earlier episode. A seed grenade, which is made out of 5 of any seed bag and 30 explosive powder. That power cell wristband, 70 solar tablet fragments, which actually took me a little bit to farm, and 70 of souls of bloom. So this thing, with every leaf born, the planet blooms. Walking about creates ancient spores that grow into powerful plants to fight for you. Basically, it creates amped up versions of the plants that you would be able to summon from these 2 seed bags, I believe. And they spawn pretty frequently. Whenever I run around, whenever you see those little sun-looking things, wherever they are, there, these things right here, they spawn into any of, I think, 3 or 4 different types of plants. I don't know if this counts as, like, seed bag damage or whatever, but I figured, why not? Let's throw that on there. Seems pretty cool. So the next order of business is something that I forgot to mention in the recap, was this angelic fan. Since I had a crimson key from all my farming down below, I got myself some vampire knives, takes 100 druid daggers and 80 souls of bloom to make this thing. And with Mother Nature's as its affix, it's actually pretty rapid fire. It shoots out quite quickly, and every single time it makes impact with an enemy. I believe it'll work with the target dummy I put up over here. Releases those little clouds that are life-stealing. Doesn't heal me for a whole lot, but as rapid fire as it is, and if I get a large group of enemies around me, it shouldn't be a problem to be able to regenerate myself pretty quickly. Gonna hold on to all that stuff. Should be pretty nice. I think we're relatively powered up now. Some new weapons, some new items. Should be good to go. So the next thing on the list, I think I'm going to do the Martian Madness, because why not? I usually always do that, to at least get the flying saucer, because it's a pretty effective mount. It's just a matter of coming across a Martian probe to actually be able to get it in the first place, which is a task in and of itself. So I think I'm gonna go and find one of those things and then head back home for some good old-fashioned alien slaying. Might be some new things associated with that, since there were some new things with the pirates. Could be some cool stuff. And then after that, it's nothing but mod content. So when I find a probe, I will see you then. Oh, there we go. We got a probe. Oh yeah. Let's head back and take down these Martians. I don't even have to build myself a little farming area for it up there. I just put my lizard bricks right back. Fine then. Have it your way. Okay, Martians, let's see what you got. You got saucers, I know that. I'm confused. Okay, let's deal with you first. You're going to be a big problem. So, let's go squad shot. I'd really like to not be confused anymore. That'd be pretty neat. Ah, God. Okay. Let's not get obliterated by the saucer. We know that thing's annoying. I don't need to make it even worse by dying to it. I will use my new Golem Lizard World Stave. Oh, God. Oh, okay. That was lucky. I thought I was doomed there for a second. How about this? Take that. I am immune to your attacks in 1.3, you fool. I have the ability to shoot through solid blocks. Ah, so do they. Let me kill it. Let me kill it. I just need to kill it one time. Ah, God. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. That's good. I'll get you next time. Oh, okay. Well, I actually kind of expected to get killed by the saucer. That's fine. Totally fine. Ah, God, I'm getting assaulted from every direction. Good. Good shot, Martian Walker. The plants are failing me right now. Ah, Well, you know, on the plus side, at least it resets my cooldowns. Okay, fine. We'll go back to this strategy, death by 1,000 cuts. This ought to work. This ought to be super effective. You cannot forget the pro-elite gamer strategy of hiding behind a wall and hoping that your attacks can penetrate through solid objects. Thankfully, because my character, I guess, has to hold all druid staves directly up in the air by the very bottom tip of the stave, he has the ability to plow them through solid blocks and fire at things on the other side of walls. So this is going to go really well, you know, in about an hour. And we got him down. We have the laser drill. Interesting. I heard some things about that as well. I believe I'm able to use that to mine through some of the abandoned lab stuff, though it was not advised to do that, because the bosses in there would probably kick my butt 6 ways from Sunday. Like the Martians. I can barely handle these things. Why would I think of going after disease monsters? If I can't handle aliens, how am I supposed to handle xenomite beasts? I was kinda hoping for a UFO, but I'm kinda running out of invasion. Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, well I guess the Martians have been defeated. Well then. Awesome. I could have swore that it was only at, 98%, but that's, interesting, I suppose. Okay. So, something that I missed, because I guess I killed him a little bit too fast, was there was a new enemy that showed up during the Martian Madness, you know, as I just removed some headstones here, called the Martian Scam Artist. He drops a Martian Scam Artist hat. That's very nice. He also drops a Martian Tree seed bag. There is no native terrain. It grows an otherworldly Martian tree. Let's take a look and see what that does. Oh, interesting. So I guess that's what the trees look like on Mars. Throws out, I guess, little spiky fronds or something, little spiky balls. That's interesting. I also got something called a portable Martian shield generator. Constructs a Martian shield generator at your cursor point. The generator emits a force field that reflects any projectiles. You can only place one at a time. So I guess whenever I stand inside of this thing, I am protected by an alien force field. So, am I safe as long as I stand inside of this thing? Does it work on laser beams? That's the most important thing. Of course it wouldn't. Why? That would make any sense. Why would they invent a technology that works against their own weaponry? That's just ridiculous. And I also got this stuff called ultraviolet plating. It is used to make something called a UV set, I guess? Looks like a druid set. I guess it's the upgrade to the Blossom Druid set, but, I do not have enough ultraviolet plating for this. So that is a shame. It drops from the Martian Scam Artist, so I guess I might have to fight the Martians again. Must be a pretty rare enemy, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and fight the Martians again. Hooray. And I'm gonna see if I can make that set. So I'll see you then. Okay, that's the second Martian invasion down. We lost a couple of NPCs, but they've already started to move back in, so that's all good. I got myself a few extra banners from that made things a little bit easier. But the most important thing is that I got the Cosmic Car Key finally, so I now have a UFO for lovely infinite flight, and more than enough ultraviolet plating that I will need to craft this new armor set. I don't know why it couldn't have just dropped it for me on the first time, but I guess RNG is RNG, and that's just how things work. So, let's craft this new set and see what it looks like. It requires amethyst as well. Well, thank God I have a million of those things. Okay, so the ultraviolet set. It looks like I get plus 60 max life from the headgear, increase life regen, throw seed bags faster from the chest plate, and increase movement speed at daytime, and increase jump height at nighttime, and an additional plus 40 max life. and spirits shoot faster. The set bonus goes into defensive mode at daytime, greatly boosting defense and endurance, goes into offensive mode at nighttime, greatly boosting druidic damage and crit. Well, well, well. Nighttime is just the time I like to go outside and start murdering some bad guys. Look at that. I'm all sparkly and glowy, all purple. I guess that is how ultraviolet light works. It even works with the wings that I've got here. I got little sparkly spectral Jim's wings with some purple and black dye. Excellent. That is just absolutely lovely. I should be using Loreholder more. I could have whacked some of those Martian scam artists with that and see what he has to say about him. I suppose those will be secrets left up to you guys. So now that I've got some new armor and a couple of new accessories, I think what it is time to do now is move on to the next mod boss, which is the first Vlitch Overlord, which requires me using a Corrupted Hero Sword at night. Summons one of the Vlitch Overlords. The Corrupted Blade draws near the power, thus beginning the final hour. Well, that's a pretty terrifying little rhyme there, but I think I have the ability to make these Corrupted Hero Swords. Yes, I can. I can make the Corrupted Xenomite set, which is a magic and minion set that I mentioned in that little recap, so it's not anything that I need, but something there, for those of you out there that are playing through this, is something other than a druid. But I can make these Corrupted Hero Swords out of Jiris chips or ectoplasm and a Broken Hero Sword, which I have plenty of from all my Mothron kills. So let's craft up one of those. It's only usable at night. Well, that looks pretty cool. Love to have that as a sword. Look at that, holding it like a staff. I guess that's what Weapon Out decided that was. Okay, so whenever Nightfall finally arrives, we're going to take down, or hopefully take down, this PostGollum boss. We still haven't defeated the Moonlord yet, so the crazy, insane, wildly overpowered bosses aren't going to show up just yet. But this might be the start of the beginning of the end. I suppose it does say beginning of the final hour. Probably the final hour of my sanity. Hopefully this boss is pretty crazy. I'm looking forward to a very intense and high-octane boss fight. So I'll craft some potions, as is customary, and move over to my little arena, and when night falls, as I said, we will take down this boss. Or at least face off against it and die hilariously. Either way, makes for some excellent watching. So that's what I'm gonna do, so I'll see you then. Okay, it's finally nighttime, and it's time to begin this battle. First thing, though, what I want to say real briefly is that I guess you've probably noticed by now that I'm not using the Sunshard Greatstave anymore, and that's mostly just because I don't want to mop the floor with too many bosses, because this thing is so ridiculously overpowered that it made me curious enough to go and create another world and another character and give myself all the same armor and everything that I had at the time that I got this, and used it against the Moonlord. And it even whooped his butt. So this thing is definitely extraordinarily broken, and so I feel like using this thing to mop the floor with mod bosses kind of like cheapens the effort that was put into them. So for the sake of fairness, I'm not going to use this thing unless extremely necessary, meaning I've died so many times to a boss that I am so extraordinarily sick and tired of it, and I just want to kill it and move on. So we'll hold this in there just in case. So keep that in mind, mod bosses. You can either let me kill you the fair way or the fun way. It's up to you. So with that all being said, let's drink up all these potions, and hopefully I should be good enough to handle this Corrupted Hero Sword. It's all red and black, so it's giving me the Gyrus, however it is pronounced, vibes. Maybe this is like some corrupted hero, or maybe it's a giant sword. I think I remember seeing something like that whenever I saw this mod before. Anyway, enough rambling. Before too many enemies show up and I run out of time, let's buff up and call forth the Vlitch Overlord. Okay, a giant sword is exactly what it is. Okay, let's throw this down. Got a new soundtrack here. I like it. I'm liking the soundtrack. Oh my god, what is that? So, let's get a little bit of a scatter here. I gotta say, I hate to say it, but all the druid staves are pretty much really overpowered. Phantasmal Cleaver. Oh my god. This is a really cool boss. I'm not gonna lie, this is fantastic. Oh, it's already been defeated? It's already dead? Alright. Well, we're definitely gonna fight that again at some point here real quick. But let's open up the treasure box. What? Indeed. Would you look at that? An Overlord unit has been taken down. What a shame. That one was almost useful. You know, I never expected someone like you to take down an Overlord. Keep on going. It's rather interesting to see you attempt such a feat. Okay. Well, that was unsettling. Anyway, treasure box? Okay, I got a Vlitch battery and some corrupted Xenobite. Now, I don't know if that thing drops anything special, so we are definitely going to fight it again and see what's up with it. Maybe we might actually get a decent look at some of those attacks, because it died pretty quickly. Like I said, I hate to say it, all the Druid staves are pretty much broken, overpowered right now. They're not as overpowered as the Sunshard Great Stave, but they're pretty beastly. Either way. Oh god, okay, it's bugging out. That's not good. I spawned it inside the house. That was a bad idea. So there's 3 of them now. Okay. I think I made a mistake. What did I do? Okay, so don't spawn it inside of an enclosed room, it glitches out. Well, you murdered some of my NPCs, so I'm not thrilled about that now. God, don't get hit by the big, dangerous red blaze. That's a bad idea. Okay, so that was 3 more times. Let's open up these treasure boxes and see if there's anything unique in there. So I got an unpleasant Juris's dagger. Oh my. What is that, a melee weapon? That's pretty fantastic looking. My god, I guess I just throw out a swarm of swords. Is that a dagger? That dagger is bigger than I am. The material, it is used to make, okay, so I can swap it to become a throwing weapon as well. Okay, that's interesting. And I got Juris's mask. Oh, that looks pretty cool. The mechanical corruption source. Okay, that's actually a pretty interesting concept. Like a corrupt version of machinery. It's pretty interesting. I like that. So what can I do with these Vlitch batteries? I can make a corrupted worm medallion, which summons another Vlitch Overlord. Mechanical shrieks beneath the ground. Be wary of the deadly sound. Another horrifying rhyme. I'm assuming it's a worm boss because that has a Solamite there. That might be blown away pretty quickly as well because of the fact that it's a worm boss. And worm bosses are kinda... well, you know what worm bosses are. And it looks like I might be able to make some of these tools now. Though I don't need them because the ham axe and the pickaxe are both weaker than what I have right now. Actually, the ham axe is actually pretty decent. So I might make that thing just because. Does it make any druid stuff? No, it does not. I can make an Omega Radar, but that's definitely post-Moonlord because of the Luminite. Yeah, it does not look like there's anything druid-related, at least not right now. I can make a gloop container, but that looks like it's going to be something for later as well. Alright, well, into the inventory it goes, I suppose, then. I wonder if wearing this thing into the abandoned lab or up in front of Kingslayer III might make him, give him the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. I might have to give that a try, see if he says anything. So, with all that done, I think I want to bring this episode to a close here. We made a good bit of progress. Once again, I'm very sorry about the general, I guess, awkwardness of this video and kinda sort of skipping over the dungeon and the golem. If it makes you feel any better, aside from the items that I showed you and that crazy hovercopter that showed up, you didn't really miss any mod things. It's just the standard regular old Terraria face roll through the dungeon and plowing through the golem. I ought to get it stapled or tattooed to my forehead. Double check, triple check, quadruple check your recording software. Have to do that. The amount of times that has caused a serious mess up with my videos in the past, you'd think I'd know better. But I do want to say one more time, thank you guys so much for finally getting the channel over 200 subscribers. That is just awesome. To me, that is pretty crazy. Like I said, way more than I thought I would actually get, so I'm glad you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm putting out. I know 200 is like a drop in the water in terms of like YouTube metrics, but to me, it's a pretty big deal. I'm very excited about that. So, like I said, I think I want to call it an episode here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking me out. I really appreciate it. And as always, whatever it is, wherever you are, day or night, I hope you're having a good one of those. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.